Steve&Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about the sources of investment capital for land acquisitions. You don't necessarily have to have your own
uncle.
money. You don't have to have your own money to do this. In fact, I have a saying that goes like this. Never, ever let a good acquisition go to waste, especially if you don't have the money. Because everybody in our group, go poke around for free on landinvestors.com.
Right.
You'll find some guys that love to share in your profitability in real estate.
And when
they lurk there. They love it.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I meant too was when I said rich uncle, you don't have to have a rich uncle.
Helps though.
And actually, but it's so funny. There's a lot of people that I know don't think, I can never get in the game because I don't have any money.
It just occurred to me that we are somebody's rich aunt and uncle. A couple people.
We are. That's very true.
If my niece or nephew came to me and said,
I need money for
some
X.
money. Look at this deal.
I'd be like,
you can't lose on this thing. It's, and we just sell it immediately.
Yep, we'd be in.
I'd be, sign me up.
Exactly.
Plus, it'd be fun.
Totally.
So it's fun to watch little kids be successful. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landacademy.com online community. It's free.
It is better than watching little kids fall down.
I mean, little kids like 22-year-olds.
All right, thank you. All right, Luke asks, hey all, I'd love to hear ideas and input on whether to offer refunds / money back guarantees. Do you guys do that? I used to, but when you get a number of people taking advantage of it, it really sucks.
Here's what we do. We don't post it anywhere. This is for land only, not for houses, not for Land Academy, not for House Academy, not for Parcel Fact, not for all the services we provide. I'm talking about land sales only. We offer like diamonds, like a diamond dealer does, an unconditional, no questions asked, money back guarantee, lifelong. But we publish that, what I just said, nowhere.
Right.
We don't give anybody a reason to go look it up and say, yeah, you know what? It turns out I need that $10,000 that I bought for this, this property 10 years ago from these guys. If they go to look it up, they're not going to find it anywhere. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you this, all the problems that arise from the Department of Real Estate in any state or county, they're all complaint driven. They don't have like police officers driving around seeing if you're complying. They only respond to problems. And problems start where there's money involved. So if you got a person that's like, you know what? Turns out, even 5 years later, turns out I just don't want this property. I really need the money back. And this is not for term sales, by the way, just for cash sales. 9 times out of 10, we're going to run to the bank because we can sell it for more.
And we don't want them unhappy. Out of 10. Yeah. But usually that's not how it goes. Honestly, usually how it goes is they're buying it sight unseen, and it doesn't happen very often. It's a very small percentage, but it's either sight unseen and it's not what they thought it was. And I totally respect that. The first time they go out there, they say, oh my gosh,
right.
I thought this was going to work, but you know what? I can't get my property. I can't get the stable like I wanted it to be, whatever it was. Totally cool. They reach out. We're going to be cool. It's all good. No, what happens?
Stable.
A horse stable or something. No, here's more what would happen. This is so funny.
I have a more realistic version too.
Okay, here's realistic of what does happen. My wife found out.
My wife.
And I'm in
That's
big
what I was just
trouble.
going to say. Turns out I was not supposed to spend that $8,000 on a family retreat.
And you know what's really sad? Here's what's really sad about this calls. The highest calling is like, I know what this is worth, and this is killing me. I have talked to her about this for 3 weeks before calling you. I just can't get her to wrap her head around it. It's as painful as it is. I need to ask you for my money back, and I feel sorry for them.
Choosing my marriage over this piece of real estate.
Exactly.
Which is probably wise.
Yeah, it's probably wise. So anyway, that's what happens. And again, it's a very small, but like you said,
and it's usually
Stephen,
fast. My example of 5 to 10 years never happens.
Oh yeah, no. After a while, they're in love with it. You're using it. It's no big deal.
We've almost done 16,000 deals now, and I'm gonna just kind of guess that we've done less than 50, probably closer to 30 actual returns. Here's why too. What you need to know. You've already deeded the property in their name, right? So the wife finds out about it 3 months later. The property's in the guy's name.
Right.
In fact, if they're married, it's probably in her name too, and she doesn't even know it. So you have to undo all that. It's not like going back to Walmart and returning an unopened package of bath towels.
Right.
It's complicated. You have to
deed it back.
So yeah, so
if it's recorded.
So here's how many people are going to respond to this statement? Mm-hmm. That's no problem, sir. I'm happy to give you your money back. Please recreate the deed, so it puts it back in our name, and go record it.
Yeah.
And they're not going to know how to do that, and they're not going to do it right. So if there's an old rule. I think it came from like Dale Carnegie or some sales thing, where if somebody wants something from you, always say yes, and then give them something to do. Like, even if it's small, like even make a phone call or talk to some guy. Happy to help. Please go do this, this, and this, and then we'll get you all squared away. And 9 times out of 10, they don't do it.
It wasn't Dale Carnegie, I can tell you that.
Oh,
not what that is.
Okay.
No.
When's the last time
you pick on that?
When's the last time
you have a Dale Carnegie hang up?
That book? You know what? I don't.
It sounds like you do.
I believe in most of what they say. I just think it gets misused
by people that give it a negative spin.
By people in my life.
So
name Jill.
No, you know what? Again, you don't. I want you to really study Dale Carnegie, because I don't think you totally understand it.
All right.
No offense, Stephen.
I'm sure you're right.
It'd be like me. You know what I mean. I don't need to finish that sentence, I think.
Let's not argue in front of the kids.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Today's topic: sources of investment capital for land acquisitions. You found a great deal. Yeah, where the heck did you get the money? This is the meat of the show. I know you made a list before the show, Jill. What do you think?
I have 4.
Go ahead.
All right, you want me to run through all 4, or you want one at a time and talk about them?
One at a time and talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, run through them and then we'll talk about them each.
Okay, my 4 that I came up with is number 1, peers.
Peers like your land selling friends?
Associates, exactly.
Not like the guy next door.
No. The other investors that are in your group, like say our members, for our members, I would have them do deals with their other members.
That's great.
Peers.
That's number 1 place, actually.
2, I put not family, although some do. Just be careful there, and we'll talk about that.
The guy next door. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, no, family. No, literally like your cousin, like your uncle or your brother or your dad or your mom or something like that.
Let's put that at the bottom of the list.
But that's 1. Number 3 is clear investors of like kind from selling sites like Land Watch, Land Pin, etc. And then number 4 is you probably saw investors in your mailer data, those people. So that's my 4. So now you want to go through them, and do you have more you want to add? You want to go through my 4?
No, I think that the one source of investment capital for this, my whole big point to this whole show, the episode is, why just stop at 1? All right, do a deal with a guy, but set yourself up so that you're going to have him fund the rest of your company. So while I understand the peer thing, and that's great, you're learning, you want to buy a 40-acre property with a guy and split the profit. I understand all that, but in the end, what you really want to do is set yourself up for the long haul with somebody who's got a ton of money and really understands the value that you're bringing and the value of flipping real estate for a return on investment.
Well, that's what this whole list is for.
I know.
You're going to use all my 4 things to source out that guy.
Yeah, so I think what you're saying is, another way to say it is, use all those sources, not just one. So a deal comes in, you decide who it goes to. You have all the control.
Right. But for more people, so the reason I thought we were doing this show is because this is a common thing that people come up with. They're like, I don't have the money. Mm-hmm. And they don't even know the first thing about where to get the money. That's what this for me is about.
Okay. So let's... No, it's good.
Okay.
we're totally saying the same thing. You and I, we're just approaching it differently.
That's true. You know what it is? Because you're dealing with different people right now. I think that's it. You're dealing right now with more...
$80 million, yeah.
Right.
$80 million of line of credit to circle through purchasing and selling massive quantities of houses and land.
Well, and here's a valuable thing. This is why we're here. We deal with everybody. I deal more with, it seems like a lot of people that are learning and getting started and all that good stuff. And by the time they get to you, though, they're way past that.
Past me, usually.
Right. So we deal with everybody, no matter where you are in your career.
Yeah.
We got this.
Well said.
Thank you. So can we spend a little more time on these real quick?
Sure.
So
let's set the stage.
All right.
You send a bunch of mail out. Mm-hmm. You're a member, you send a bunch of mail out, a bunch of properties come back, and let's say you send out only 40-acre properties in, I don't know, Montana, in a county in Montana. I'm just picking one out of the sky. A bunch of people sign them, and it turns out you run out of money.
Yep.
So now you've got a 40-acre property that you sent offers out for 10, 12, 20,000 bucks, something like that. You know they're worth 40 to 80, and you're turning deals as fast as you can. It's all working great, but you're just out of money. This happens to everybody. Honest to God, it happens to us.
You bought 3 of them, and there's 3 more sitting there. It's usually how it goes. So where do you go? Where do you go?
Joe?
Yeah, you don't want these deals to go to waste,
right?
And you
because
don't want
you're selling them left and right.
Exactly, but the money's just not coming in fast enough, and that's perfect. So, but you don't. Again, so one way is reach out to your peers. Okay, so you're a member. Great.
That's the first thing I would do on Land Investors deal board. Yeah.
Yep. Go in the back of our thing, hit the deal board. This is what's happening all day, every day.
Right.
And these guys are getting together. And it's what's great about this this source one, if you will, is that you guys understand each other. You guys are on the same page. You guys are buying and selling property the same way. You know, there's no explaining it that you have to.
There's no selling.
All you're doing is posting it. And this is what happens in our deal board, because it's just members back there. 40 acres. I'm out of capital. Here's the APN. Here's what I can buy it for. Look at here's the lowest, price, whatever. Who's in? And then 6 people will weigh in on that. So that's one. And then there's no talking about it.
By leaps and bounds for what we do, that's the best option.
Totally.
Because it's usually immediate.
Exactly. All right.
And there's no sales. I can't emphasize that enough. If you're going to raise money somewhere in any capacity, you do not want to give somebody a sales pitch.
Right.
If you have to sell them,
here's what I'm doing.
Like Shark Tank. If you got to sit there and say, here's why it's great, I want to be partners with you, and then spend 20 minutes explaining it, it's the wrong person.
Well, then it goes into number 2 perfectly, because number 2 is maybe it's a family member. Your rich uncle has a lot of money, and he could do this real quick, and he trusts you, but he's still gonna have some questions. And like you just said, Stephen, you're gonna have to explain it to him and maybe even sell it to him. So that's why, although it made my list, it's not one of my most popular items, because number 1, you got to sell it, and number 2, you got to be careful. Because some members get it, some don't. Some are going to say, when am I going to see my money? Wait, I thought you said this is going to happen overnight, when overnight to us is like in a week. And maybe they thought it literally meant overnight. Who knows? There's little nuances and variables. My other thing is...
I have a story.
Well, okay, good. Well, my other thing is you got to be careful, because it might be a little too good, and now they want a piece of the action. They want all your deals. You're like, well, hold on a moment. This is my business, not yours.
That always happens.
That's the thing. You're like, I was trying to share this one with you, not share my whole business with you. So, okay, go ahead. What's your story?
So one time there was this girl, and this is a long time ago.
Okay.
Long before I got into real estate, actually.
Okay.
And she had an ex-boyfriend who had this cockamamie scheme to start a condiment company called Arizona Gunslinger. And it came to me, because this is my girlfriend now, Mm-hmm. This guy comes to me and says, I need $5,000 to start Arizona Gunslinger. I'll give you a substantial percentage of the company. And I said, not only no, but I think I might knock you out, because, this is so far out of bounds, it's ridiculous. I don't need any. So what's on every single restaurant table right now?
I know.
Arizona freaking Gunslinger. Hot sauce. So, and then years later, an employee's sister came to me and said, I just moved to Arizona, and back in wherever they were from, we had this wrecking company where we would tow people's cars, when it posted, if you park here, you're going to get towed, call this number. And I said, they since went on, and they're just killing it.
Mm-hmm. Did you invest in that one?
And I said, look, why would I invest in something so negative? Like, what else? Do you want me to? How about a bail bonds company? How about I invest in the police department? Right. This is all negative crap. I don't understand the business. I hate getting my car towed. And so, if you have to, they're sitting there trying to sell me on it. Oh no, but wait, you don't understand. It's this. It's just not my thing.
You weren't a good fit.
I'm a huge fan of making money. Right. I'm not a fan of towing cars or making food.
Okay.
So and there's tons of people out there with hordes of money that don't understand or care about real estate. Sure. And that's when, don't waste your time with them. Find people that understand dirt and houses and skyscrapers.
All right. So number 3, great. I have this deal. Where do I go? I'm not a member. I'm not a member, and I have no rich family members. Well, how about clear investors of like-kind property that you can easily find on selling sites? Because they're buying and selling property right alongside you, the same size and the same area. They would love to do the deal to you. You already found it. You did the hard work. Where do you find them? Go to those sites. Our site is perfect. Go to Landpin. No brainer there. Go to Land Watch. Go to Land and Farm. There's more. So maybe even on eBay. Who knows? So I'm going to save number 4 here. But so do you want to add to that one?
Nope.
Okay. So that's so easy. It's too easy to get their contact information, because if they're investors, you can look up their website, find their contact, and give them a call and tell them what you have, and let's do this together. And then number 4 is, when you downloaded your data, where does your data come from? Wherever you have a list of all these sellers, right there, you will find, you're easy to see someone that goes, wow, look at all these parcels as I'm going along. This name keeps popping up. XYZ Investment Company. They're obviously buying and selling property in the same area. They obviously own a bunch of property in this area. Awesome. As another thing, they just might want to flat out, buy it, and you could just, work something out that way. But anyway.
How many times have you gotten this phone call or email? I got your letter, and I own a bunch of property, and no, I'm not interested in selling, and I own a bunch of property in this area. But I will say, I'm a very logical buyer. So if you do find any property that's priced at how you sent this letter to me, I'm happy to buy it.
Exactly.
I'm happy to invest in it. I'm happy that person has got money to burn.
Exactly.
And
That's
so
they're
they
doing
go
it.
straight on our A list, and that is a very, very logical source. You've skipped to the last step. They understand the process. They already have invested in it. They know how great it is. They enjoy it, and they are in that business for a reason. They are going to be elated to either buy some property from you without actually even having to spend $1. You just assign it to them, in an option deal, or they can become your lifelong partner in.
That state or that county or whatever.
County. Yeah. And then it'll lead to different mailings. Now you're all of a sudden doing a specific mailer for this guy. That's your partner who, and that's the premise of House Academy, for a topic for a different day.
Awesome.
These shows are going long this week.
I know. We have a lot to share.
Well, you've done it again. You spent another 25 minutes listening to the Land Academy show. Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode where we discuss how to scale up your land business after those first 10 deals.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community, which is free. You can find it directly at landinvestors.com, or you can get to it from landacademy.com.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Finding money, when you start out a business or you start any kind of thing, you have this subconsciously, or at least I do anyway, in the back of your head, the stuff that's going to be hard and the stuff that's going to be easy.
Right.
Finding money is about the easiest thing there ever was. And I always thought it would be like, who the hell's going to give me any money?
Isn't that funny?
They throw money at you.
I know. And what's funny is it's one of the things that new people starting out think it's going to be hard.
Right.
They have a hang up with, I can't afford this, I can't do this. I'm like, well, it doesn't have to be your money. If you run out of funds, don't let them go to waste. No one's going to say no. I mean, that's the whole thing. People go, it's like, hey, what if I came to you with a classic car worth $35,000 and we can buy it for $10,000? We're going to come up with $10,000 together. Right. It's just nuts. No one's going to say no to that.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's exactly right.
Thank you.
Use your parents as the last dying resort, trust me.
Yes.
For getting money.
There you go.
Unless they're saying, oh, you're beautiful and I respect you and here's $20,000, never pay me back.
Yeah, I don't want it.
To you. If it's like, oh, I don't know if I should be doing it, then run away.
Exactly. Hey, share the fun by subscribing on iTunes or wherever you are listening. And while you're at it, please rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.